Have you ever spent an afternoon with a friend or significant other, expecting to feel energized, but instead left feeling drained and deflated? If so, you're not alone. Have you found yourself consumed by jealousy or overwhelmed with anger due to a friend or partner's actions? Have you ever felt more like a puppet than a partner, or left a conversation more drained than when it started? Many of us compromise our happiness and values just to keep the peace, ignore red flags, or make excuses for someone's behavior, hoping things will change. We stick to relationships because they feel safe and familiar, even though deep down we sense they're preventing us from reaching our full potential. It's a hard truth to accept that the comfort of a relationship doesn't always mean it's beneficial for us. Growth often requires making tough, even painful decisions about the people we surround ourselves with. This is where Stoic philosophy can guide us. Today, we're going to explore how Stoic wisdom can empower us to confidently make these bold decisions. We'll discuss how to identify when a relationship is more about past comfort than future growth, and how to gently but firmly release those ties if necessary. Our goal isn't just to evaluate the people in our lives, but to understand how each relationship enhances or detracts from our ability to live fully and authentically. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, share this video with someone who might need this wake-up call, and give us a like if you're ready for change. Don't skip a second. Every moment today could be the turning point in your story.
Stoic wisdom present.
Section 1. Recognizing growth-stifling relationships. Imagine you've just spent an afternoon with a friend or significant other, and instead of feeling energized and inspired, you find yourself drained and deflated. Sound familiar? It's an experience many of us have had, and it's a glaring red flag. This is where the ancient philosophy of Stoicism can offer us invaluable insights. Seneca, a towering figure in Stoicism, teaches us about the importance of personal growth and self-improvement. He argued that to live a truly fulfilling life, we must carefully choose who we allow into our lives, seeking out those who encourage us to flourish and steering clear of those who impede our progress. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on your own relationships. Think about the people you spend the most time with. Are they helping you grow, or are they holding you back? It's not just about looking for the obvious negative interactions either. Sometimes the signs are subtler. Maybe it's the friend who always plays devil's advocate to your ideas, or the partner who is supportive in words but passive in actions. These interactions can quietly undermine our confidence and stall our personal growth. Stoicism isn't about cutting people out of your life with cold indifference. Instead, it teaches us to cultivate relationships with intention and wisdom. It encourages us to curate a circle of friends and partners who not only support our dreams, but push us towards our best selves. Imagine the difference it could make if each person in your life was a cheerleader for your ambitions. How much more could you achieve? How much happier could you be? It's worth taking some time to really think about this. Consider the conversations you have, the feedback you receive, and the feelings you're left with after spending time with someone. If you find that more often than not, your interactions leave you feeling diminished rather than empowered, it may be time to reassess those ties. Not with bitterness or resentment, but with the clarity and courage that Stoicism promotes. Keep this thought in mind. Personal growth is not just about what you do on your own. It's also about who you choose to accompany you on your journey. Up next, we'll delve into how to effectively deal with the negative emotions that can arise in relationships, and how Stoic wisdom can help us manage these challenges not just with resilience, but with grace. Stay tuned, because you won't want to miss these transformative insights that could very well redefine the way you engage with everyone around you. Section 2. Dealing with negative emotions. Ever found yourself in a situation where you're consumed by jealousy or burning with anger because of something a friend or partner did? It's moments like these that test the strength of our relationships and our own emotional resilience. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor renowned for his wisdom, taught that while we can't control every circumstance that life throws at us, we absolutely can control how we respond to them. Let's start with a scenario. Imagine your best friend has just landed a dream job, one you both fiercely competed for. While you're happy for them, a wave of jealousy hits you hard. It's natural, but what you do next is crucial. Do you let these feelings fester and sour the relationship, or do you confront them, perhaps realizing that your reaction might be more about your own feelings of insecurity or unfulfilled ambitions? This is where Stoicism steps in. It isn't about suppressing your emotions, but understanding and managing them constructively. Remember, relationships should be a source of support and mutual growth, not constant conflict and emotional turmoil. If you find that drama outweighs peace in your relationships, take it as a sign to either address the underlying issues or rethink the bond altogether. Now picture this: a relationship where open and honest conversations replace hidden resentments. Imagine how freeing it would be to express your feelings without fear of judgment, knowing that the foundation of your relationship is strong enough to handle it. This doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent effort and mutual understanding, it's definitely achievable. In striving to create healthier bonds, remember that the goal is to cultivate a space where all parties feel safe to express their feelings without fear of judgment or retaliation. This requires open communication, mutual respect, and a good dose of humility. It's about building a foundation strong enough to hold the weight of genuine, sometimes difficult emotions without crumbling under them. So, as we move forward, let's keep this in mind. Managing our emotions isn't just about keeping the peace. It's about fostering relationships that are deep, genuine, and resilient. In the next section, we'll explore how to recognize when it might be time to let go of relationships that are more draining than fulfilling. Stick around as we discuss how to gracefully sever ties that no longer serve us, making room for more nurturing connections in our lives. This is crucial for our emotional health and overall well-being, so you'll want to hear what comes next. Section 3: The Dangers of Manipulation and Control. Moving on to a tougher topic, let's talk about manipulation and control in relationships. Have you ever felt like you're more of a puppet than a partner? If that question makes you pause, it's important to recognize this as a major red flag. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches the art of living freely, places a high value on autonomy, being the master of your actions and decisions. When someone else starts making significant decisions for you, it chips away at your personal freedom, which is essential for a fulfilling life. In healthy relationships, there's a vibrant exchange of ideas, and decisions are made collaboratively. It's a partnership where mutual respect and freedom are foundational elements, not exceptions. However, if you find yourself in a situation where another person is dictating the terms of your life, what you should wear, who you should hang out with, how you should spend your money, or even what career steps you should take, it's time to step back and ask why. These are signs not just of a controlling relationship, but of manipulative behavior that can leave deep emotional scars. It's crucial to understand that stepping away from someone who's controlling isn't an act of aggression or selfishness. It's an act of self-respect and necessary for your well-being. Stoicism isn't about enduring suffering silently. It's about recognizing situations where our dignity is compromised and taking action to restore it. Imagine being in a relationship that enhances your strengths and where your voice is valued rather than suppressed. This is what healthy relationships look like. They empower, not imprison. Now think about your own experiences. Are there moments when you felt your autonomy was being overshadowed by someone else's will? It's important to not only recognize these moments, but to understand that you have the power to change the narrative. The next steps involve identifying strategies to regain control and assert your independence, which we will cover in detail as we continue. Remember, each story of manipulation is unique, and the path to regaining control is not always straightforward. But through a Stoic lens, we learn to detach from harmful dynamics and prioritize our mental and emotional freedom. As we transition to discussing ways to reassert your autonomy, keep in mind that while the journey may be challenging, it is also incredibly liberating. Stay tuned for actionable advice on how to reclaim your life from manipulative relationships and restore a sense of self that aligns with your true values and aspirations. Section 4. Addressing abuse and failed communication. Let's ask ourselves a difficult but necessary question. What does it really mean to respect oneself in a relationship? Now let's address a deeply critical issue that affects countless lives: abuse in any form, and the breakdown of communication in relationships. Stoicism, which teaches the profound importance of dignity and self-respect, holds that any form of abuse is a stark violation of these principles. If you find yourself in an abusive situation, know that it's not just a personal crisis. It's a direct assault on your fundamental rights as a human being. Seeking help and, if necessary, exiting the relationship isn't just advisable. It's essential for safeguarding your safety and dignity. Abuse can manifest in various forms: physical, emotional, verbal, or even psychological. Each type is devastating and can leave deep emotional scars. The Stoic approach isn't about enduring pain and suffering. Rather, it's about recognizing when your personal well-being is under threat and taking decisive action to protect yourself. The first step in this process is often the hardest: acknowledging the reality of the abuse. This recognition can be painful, but it's also a critical step toward recovery. Parallel to the challenge of abuse is the issue of failed communication, which can sometimes be a precursor to more serious relationship problems. Effective communication is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. It involves not just talking but listening, not just expressing but understanding. When communication breaks down repeatedly, it's a signal to take a step back and assess the underlying issues. Are there unresolved conflicts? Is there a mismatch in communication styles? Or is it indicative of deeper, more systemic problems within the relationship? Reflecting on these questions can help you understand whether the relationship can be salvaged through improved dialogue and mutual efforts, or whether it's time to move on. Sometimes, despite best efforts, the best decision for personal growth and well-being is to let go of relationships that are fundamentally broken. In such cases, Stoicism offers valuable guidance. It teaches us to approach life's challenges with rationality and composure, encouraging us to focus on what we can control, our actions and responses. If you are facing the tough decision of ending a relationship due to failed communication, or, more critically, due to abuse, remember that this decision, while difficult, may be necessary to reclaim your peace and self-respect. As we continue our discussion, we'll explore strategies for effectively communicating in relationships and, when necessary, the best ways to transition out of relationships that no longer serve us. Remember, the goal is not just to survive, but to thrive. Whether it's improving communication or making the tough decision to leave, these steps are about enhancing your quality of life and ensuring that your relationships are respectful, supportive, and enriching. Section 5. Seeking tranquility in connections. Have you ever left a conversation feeling more drained than when it started? Let's shift our focus toward a goal that many of us strive for, but often find elusive: tranquility in our relationships. Stoicism doesn't just teach us to endure life's storms. It encourages us to cultivate an inner calm that remains undisturbed even in turbulent times. This philosophy holds that maintaining tranquility isn't just a personal pursuit, but something we should seek in our interactions with others. If a relationship consistently robs you of your peace, it's vital to understand why and to take action to restore it. Think about the last time you felt truly at peace in a relationship. What elements were present? Was it mutual respect, open communication, or a deep understanding of each other's needs? Now consider the opposite. Times when you felt ongoing tension or stress with someone. Often the difference lies in how well boundaries are established and respected. Setting clear boundaries isn't about building walls between you and your loved ones. It's about delineating a space where each person can grow and thrive without impinging on the other's peace. Engaging in honest discussions about what contributes to or disturbs your tranquility is crucial. These conversations might be challenging, but they are essential for building stronger, healthier connections. Ask yourself and your partner or friend, what do we need to adjust to ensure our relationship enhances our life rather than complicates it? This might mean agreeing on time spent together versus time apart, or how to handle conflicts when they arise so that they don't escalate into peace-shattering ordeals. As you reflect on these points, consider the role of compromise in maintaining tranquility. True compromise isn't about one person bending backward while the other gets their way. It's about finding a middle ground where both parties feel heard and valued. When both individuals understand and respect each other's needs and boundaries, the relationship can become a source of support and joy rather than stress and conflict. As we wrap up this discussion, remember that seeking tranquility in your relationships is an ongoing process. It requires continuous effort, patience, and sometimes tough decisions. But the rewards, a sense of peace and fulfillment in your closest connections, are well worth the effort. Stay tuned as we continue to explore how these principles apply in everyday situations and how you can practically integrate Stoic wisdom into your life to not only achieve but sustain tranquility in your relationships. Whether it's adjusting how you communicate, re-evaluating your boundaries, or perhaps making more profound changes, each step you take is a stride toward a more peaceful life. Section 6. Identifying harmful relationship dynamics. Have you ever found yourself consistently compromising your happiness or values just to keep the peace? In our exploration of relationships, it's crucial to recognize the signs of harmful dynamics that can often creep in subtly. Have you ever found yourself repeatedly compromising your happiness or personal values just to maintain peace in a relationship? This is a common scenario that many of us face, and Stoicism provides us with a valuable framework to address it. Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardships. It's about being honest with ourselves and recognizing when a relationship shifts from being a source of support to becoming a burden. Consider this. If you often find yourself questioning your worth or feeling consistently undermined by someone, these are significant red flags. It's essential to ask yourself whether the relationship truly serves your well-being or if it's merely a source of continuous stress and disappointment. Relationships are supposed to elevate our spirits and promote our growth, not weigh us down with doubts and negativity. Now take a moment to reflect on your relationships. Think about those instances when you felt you had to suppress your true feelings to avoid conflict. While compromise is part of any healthy relationship, it should not come at the cost of your own happiness or self-esteem. It's about finding a balance where both parties feel valued and respected. It's also helpful to identify the specific behaviors that contribute to a harmful dynamic. Is it constant criticism, lack of empathy, or perhaps emotional manipulation? Recognizing these behaviors can be the first step toward addressing them. Once identified, it's important to communicate your feelings clearly. This isn't about confrontation, but about opening a dialogue to express your needs and expectations. As we continue this discussion, remember that recognizing harmful relationship dynamics is not about assigning blame, but about fostering healthier, more supportive interactions. Think about how you can apply these insights to enhance your relationships, ensuring they contribute positively to your life. Next, we'll dive deeper into how to effectively communicate your concerns and set boundaries that protect your well-being. This upcoming section will equip you with practical tools and strategies to transform your relationships into sources of strength and positivity. Stay tuned, as these insights could profoundly impact how you navigate your personal connections. Section 7. The foundation of mutual respect. Let's discuss a fundamental pillar that upholds the structure of every meaningful interaction: mutual respect. This cornerstone is critical, for without respect, there can be no foundation for growth or genuine connection. The Stoics, with their profound understanding of human virtues, emphasized that respect for oneself and for others is crucial in all aspects of life. Imagine a scenario where you express an opinion, but it's immediately dismissed or ridiculed. How does that make you feel? Disrespected, undervalued, perhaps even hurt? These emotions are indicators that the essential element of respect might be lacking. Recognizing these feelings isn't just about identifying something that makes us uncomfortable. It's about understanding that respect is the soil in which the roots of a healthy relationship grow. Without it, nothing substantial or lasting can thrive. Now think about your interactions. Are they marked by a mutual giving and receiving of respect? Or do you find yourself constantly having to demand basic consideration? In relationships where respect is consistently absent, it's crucial to communicate your feelings clearly. This isn't about confrontation, but about expressing your needs for respect and dignity. Setting boundaries is also key. These boundaries inform others of the respect you require and what will not be tolerated. However, what happens when, despite your best efforts, the situation doesn't improve? Continually facing disrespect can be draining and demoralizing. It's at this point that Stoicism offers a valuable lesson. Sometimes, the bravest and most respectful thing you can do for yourself is to reassess the value of the relationship in your life. If a relationship does not honor your worth as an individual, it may be time to consider letting go, not out of spite or anger, but from a place of self-respect and a desire for healthier interactions. As we prepare to move into our next discussion on how to effectively handle conflicts within relationships, reflect on the role of respect in your own experiences. Think about how establishing and maintaining respect can transform conflicts into opportunities for growth rather than battles to be won. Stay tuned as we explore these strategies in our next section, where we'll dive deeper into managing conflicts with dignity and poise. Engage with the content, think about your personal relationships, and prepare to enhance your approach to resolving disagreements, all while upholding the Stoic virtues of respect and integrity. Section 8. Reality versus illusions in relationships. Have you ever found yourself ignoring red flags or making excuses for someone's behavior, hoping things will change? Let's delve into an essential aspect of relationships that often gets overlooked: the difference between reality and illusion. Stoicism, a philosophy grounded in realism and practicality, teaches us the importance of seeing things as they truly are. not as we might wish them to be. This principle is particularly vital when applied to relationships. Are you perhaps overlooking red flags or making excuses for someone's behavior because it's easier than confronting the truth? It's a common trap to fall into the illusion of what a relationship could be, rather than facing the reality of what it actually is. Let's consider an example. Imagine you're in a relationship where your significant other has a temper issue that they refuse to address. You might find yourself rationalizing their outbursts by blaming stress or other external factors, telling yourself that things will get better. This is a classic case of seeing the relationship not as it is, but as you hope it would be. However, Stoicism nudges us towards a more honest evaluation. It asks us to acknowledge the situation in its true form and assess our relationships based on real compatibility and shared values, not just on wishful thinking or potential. Acknowledging the true nature of your relationships requires courage and honesty, but is the first step toward cultivating more authentic and satisfying connections. It means no longer ignoring the aspects of a relationship that are incongruent with our values and well-being. Instead, it involves having the bravery to ask ourselves hard questions about whether our emotional needs are genuinely being met. As we progress in our discussion, think about your own relationships. Are they built on solid foundations of mutual respect and understanding, or are they sustained by a series of compromises on your values and needs? This reflection is crucial as it leads to more fulfilling and grounded relationships. Stay tuned as we next explore how to effectively address and adjust these dynamics. We'll discuss practical strategies for aligning your relationships with your true needs and values, ensuring they contribute positively to your life rather than detracting from it. This journey towards authenticity in relationships is challenging but immensely rewarding, as it leads to deeper connections and a more satisfying life. Section 9. The Non-Negotiables, Values and Reciprocity. Have you ever found yourself always on the giving end, feeling more like a reservoir than a partner in an equal exchange? As we delve deeper into the complexities of relationships, it's crucial to pinpoint and understand your non-negotiables, those core values and the need for reciprocity that define and shape the very essence of your interactions. Stoicism, with its emphasis on wisdom and virtue, teaches us that maintaining our integrity is paramount. This means not compromising on the principles that are fundamentally important to us, even in the face of adversity or deep personal connections. Imagine a scenario where you find yourself always being the giver in a relationship, whether it's in terms of emotional support, time, or resources, and rarely, if ever, receiving the same in return. This imbalance can lead to resentment and exhaustion, as relationships are inherently a two-way street. They thrive on a healthy balance of give and take. If you're consistently on the giving end, it's essential to recognize this pattern and address it. Engage in a candid discussion with your partner or friend about this dynamic. Express your feelings clearly and respectfully, highlighting the need for more balanced interactions. This conversation isn't just about airing grievances, it's about constructing a more solid foundation of mutual support and respect. It's about reshaping the relationship into one where both parties feel valued and supported equally. Reflect on your relationships. Are they aligned with your core values? Are you experiencing the reciprocity that is so vital for any healthy interaction? These reflections are not just hypothetical questions, they're essential for assessing the health and longevity of your relationships. As we prepare to close this section, think about how this imbalance of give and take has affected your relationships in the past, or how it might be currently affecting them. What steps can you take today to initiate a change towards more balanced reciprocal interactions? Stay tuned as we move into our next discussion, where we'll explore practical strategies for setting boundaries that honor your values and ensure reciprocity in your relationships. This next part of our journey is about taking control, making changes, and fostering relationships that are not only satisfying, but also deeply enriching and aligned with your deepest values. Section 10. Addressing abuse and failed communication. Addressing abuse and failed communication in relationships is undeniably tough, but it's crucial for maintaining your well-being and dignity. Abuse in any of its forms, be it physical, emotional, or psychological, is not just a sign of an unhealthy relationship, it's outright dangerous. Stoicism, which teaches us the immense value of self-worth and the necessity of protecting our dignity, implores us not to tolerate such violations under any circumstances. If you find yourself in an abusive situation, the Stoic response is clear. Seek help immediately and consider the necessity of leaving the relationship to safeguard your well-being. Equally important is the issue of communication, which serves as the lifeline of any relationship. Effective communication is foundational for understanding, trust, and mutual respect. Without it, relationships struggle to thrive and often deteriorate. If you're finding that communication with your partner consistently fails, resulting in misunderstandings, unresolved issues, and growing frustration, it's time to take a proactive approach. Address these issues openly, whether that means initiating difficult conversations, seeking the assistance of a counselor, or sometimes reassessing the viability of the relationship itself. Think about how often you've felt heard and understood by your partner. Reflect on whether communication breakdowns are the exception or the norm. These reflections are not merely exercises. They are essential diagnostics for assessing the health of your relationship. If open, honest communication does not lead to improvement, it may be time to consider more drastic measures. As we conclude this discussion, take a moment to consider the next steps. If you are dealing with either abuse or chronic communication failures, remember that taking action is not just an option, it is necessary for your health and happiness. Moving forward, we will explore how to rebuild or exit relationships in a way that preserves your self-respect and aligns with your core values. Stay tuned as we continue this crucial conversation, equipping you with the tools and insights needed to navigate these challenging waters. Remember, the path to healthier relationships is sometimes paved with tough decisions, but with the right approach, resilience, and support, it is possible to foster connections that are both enriching and uplifting. Section 11. Seeking tranquility in connections. Have you ever found yourself repeatedly unsettled by the chaos of certain relationships? Finally, let's circle back to the concept of tranquility, a fundamental goal in Stoicism that resonates deeply within the fabric of our relationships. Stoicism doesn't just equip us to handle life's various challenges, it actively promotes the cultivation of inner peace. This becomes especially relevant when considering the impact of our personal relationships. If you find that certain relationships frequently disrupt your peace or leave you feeling unsettled, it's crucial to assess their impact on your overall quality of life. Think about the times when interactions with someone have left you feeling drained rather than enriched. It raises an important question. Are these relationships worth the emotional and mental cost? Stoic wisdom teaches us that the company we keep should enhance our tranquility, not diminish it. Our relationships should mirror our virtues and contribute positively to our well-being, allowing us to live more fulfilling lives. Consider the nature of your interactions and the feelings they invoke. Stoicism doesn't just advise us to endure negative situations stoically. It encourages us to make proactive changes. Sometimes, achieving a state of peace requires us to make difficult decisions, like distancing ourselves from those who consistently bring turmoil into our lives. This isn't about cutting people out in anger or disappointment, but about making a thoughtful decision that prioritizes your well-being and aligns with your values. Reflect on the current state of your relationships. Which ones bring you peace and positivity, and which ones consistently challenge your tranquility? Remember, the quality of our lives is often deeply intertwined with the quality of our relationships. Making choices that favor peace and harmony isn't selfish. It's necessary for maintaining your health and happiness. Remember that each of these sections isn't just about identifying problems, but about taking proactive steps to improve or sometimes end relationships that hold us back. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Stoicism and relationships. I hope these insights help you create healthier, more fulfilling connections in your life. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom, like this video if you found it helpful, and share it with someone who might benefit. Until next time, stay wise and stay connected.